Hey, car enthusiasts! If you've been following the auto industry, you've probably heard the news legacy automakers like GM, Ford, Volkswagen, and Toyota are getting crushed in China, the world's largest car market. Reports show some of these giants are seeing sales drops of up to 40%. Why? Chinese consumers are ditching traditional gas guzzlers for electric vehicles from Tesla and homegrown champions like BYD. But here's the big question. What does this mean for the global sales of combustion engine cars and trucks? Buckle up, because in this video, we're diving deep into the EV revolution in China, why legacy brands are struggling, and how this seismic shift could reshape the global auto industry. Let's get started. First, let's set the stage. China isn't just the world's largest auto market. It's the epicenter of the electric vehicle revolution. In 2024, over 40% of cars sold in China were new energy vehicles, or NEVs, which include battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. That's massive, and this number is expected to hit over 50% in 2025. Why is this happening? A few reasons. 1. Government support. The Chinese government has been all in on EVs for years. Since 2009, they've offered generous subsidies for EV makers and buyers, built charging infrastructure, and set ambitious targets, like having NEVs make up 20% of new car sales by 2025, a goal they hit 3 years early. They're now aiming for NEVs to dominate by 2035. 2. Consumer preferences. Chinese buyers love cutting-edge tech. EVs offer instant torque, quiet rides, and cool features like advanced driver assistance systems. Plus, they're often cheaper to own in the long run due to lower fuel and maintenance costs. 3. Price wars. Tesla kicked off a price war in China in 2023, slashing prices to boost sales. Chinese brands like BYD followed suit, making EVs more affordable than many gas-powered cars. For example, BYD's Seagull starts at just $10,000, while a basic Tesla Model 3 is over twice that price. This shift has created a perfect storm for EV giants like Tesla and BYD to dominate. In 2024, BYD sold 4.27 million vehicles globally, including 1.76 million pure EVs, outpacing Tesla's $97.7 billion in revenue, with their own $107 billion. In China alone, BYD commands a 29.7% share of the NEV market, while Tesla's dropped to just 3.2% in April 2025. Meanwhile, legacy automakers? So why are legacy automakers like GM, Ford, Volkswagen, and Toyota taking such a beating in China? Let's break it down. 1. Falling market share. Once upon a time, brands like Volkswagen and GM ruled China's roads. Volkswagen was the top-selling brand for over 15 years. But in 2024, BYD overtook them, capturing 15.3% of the overall car market. GM and Ford have seen their sales erode significantly, with some reports citing drops of up to 40%. Even premium brands like Mercedes-Benz sold zero EQE electric cars in China in October 2024. That's right, zero. 2. Failure to adapt. Legacy automakers were slow to pivot to EVs. Many tried to retrofit old gas-powered platforms for electric cars, which led to less efficient and less appealing vehicles. Meanwhile, Tesla and BYD designed EVs from the ground up, offering better range, tech, and performance. For example, BYD's new battery tech can add 250 miles of range in just 5 minutes. Tesla's superchargers take 15 minutes for 200 miles. 3. Price competition. Legacy brands can't match the low prices of Chinese EVs. BYD's vertical integration, they make their own batteries, keeps costs down, letting them sell cars like the Qin L for half the price of a Tesla Model 3 in China. Legacy automakers, reliant on expensive supply chains, are losing the price war. 4. Brand perception. Chinese consumers are increasingly choosing homegrown brands like BYD, which resonate with national pride and offer modern designs. Legacy brands, once seen as aspirational, now feel outdated to tech-savvy buyers. As one analyst put it, Chinese consumers are in the driver's seat, and they're choosing cutting-edge tech over legacy car makers. The result? Companies like Nissan and GM are on shaky ground. Some experts even predict they might exit China entirely within 5 years. Ford and Toyota are also struggling. while BMW and Mercedes are hanging on but losing ground fast. Now, let's zoom out. What does this mean for the worldwide sales of legacy automakers' combustion engine cars and trucks? The impact is huge, and here's why. 1. China's influence on global trends. China accounts for about 30% of global car sales. As Chinese consumers shift to EVs, it's accelerating the global transition away from internal combustion engines. In 2024, global battery electric vehicle sales hit 13.3 million, making up 16.2% of passenger vehicle sales. This trend is forcing legacy automakers to rethink their reliance on gas-powered vehicles. 2. Export challenges. Chinese automakers like BYD are expanding globally, exporting to Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and beyond. In Thailand, the top 5 EV brands in 2024 were all Chinese, with BYD selling over 27,000 cars compared to Tesla's 4,121. These affordable EVs are undercutting legacy brands in emerging markets, where gas-powered cars were once dominant. 3. Pressure to pivot. Legacy automakers are bleeding cash on EV investments. Ford alone reported losses of up to $5.5 billion in 2023. To stay competitive, they're being forced to divert resources from ICE development to EVs. This means fewer new gas-powered models, higher prices for existing ones, and shrinking profit margins. For example, China's ICE market saw a 22% sales drop as EV sales surged. 4. US and Europe lag behind. In the US, legacy automakers like GM and Ford rely heavily on profitable ICE trucks and SUVs. But as Chinese EVs eye markets like Mexico to bypass US tariffs, they could flood North America with cheaper alternatives, eating into ICE sales. In Europe, Chinese brands are already selling hybrids and ICE vehicles alongside EVs, with registrations hitting record levels in Q1 2025. This dual strategy keeps pressure on legacy brands' gas-powered lineups. 5. Long-term decline. The writings on the wall. Combustion engines are losing ground. As China leads the EV charge, global regulations are tightening. Europe's pushing for zero-emission vehicles by 2035, and even the US is offering EV tax credits. Legacy automakers that don't adapt risk becoming irrelevant, especially as younger buyers worldwide prefer EVs for their tech and sustainability. So, can legacy automakers turn things around? It's not impossible, but it's tough. Here are a few ways they're trying to fight back. Strategic partnerships. Some, like Stellantis, are partnering with Chinese EV makers like Leapmotor to leverage their tech and lower costs. Ford and GM are even considering collaborations to compete with BYD. Localizing R&D. To win Chinese consumers, brands like Volkswagen are investing in China-based R&D to tailor EVs to local tastes, like adding bigger screens and advanced tech. New EV models. Legacy automakers are rolling out more EVs, like GM's Cadillac Lyriq and Toyota's BZ4X, but they're often pricier and less innovative than BYD's offerings. The problem? They're playing catch-up in a market where BYD and Tesla are setting the pace. To survive, they need to match Chinese brands on price, innovate faster, and rebuild brand appeal, not just in China but globally. The rise of Tesla and Chinese EV brands like BYD is reshaping the auto industry at lightning speed. In China, legacy automakers are losing ground fast, with sales drops of up to 40% as consumers flock to affordable, tech-packed EVs. This shift isn't just a China story, it's a global wake-up call. As EVs take over, the worldwide demand for combustion engine cars and trucks is set to decline, forcing legacy automakers to pivot or perish. Will they adapt in time, or will brands like BYD and Tesla dominate the future? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more auto industry updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Check out these videos for more on EVs and the auto industry.